Hello, what's up people? This is Nilanjana bringing you yet another very interesting technique today for the law of attraction. Now this is an NLP technique I'm going to teach you which will help you to reduce negativity from your life. Now negative energy is something natural, you really can't do much about it. It keeps coming throughout the day in our subconscious mind, and that is because of our life experiences or our beliefs or the people or simply the circumstance around us. I mean, I see it as the weather. You know, you really cannot fight it. I mean, if it has to rain, it will rain. If it's going to be too sunny, it is going to be too sunny. You really can't do anything but to bear it or to face it. You know, so you can be grumpy about it and keep thinking about it and feel sad, but that's not going to change the situation. So how do you get rid of negative things that crop up throughout the day, or something, a doubt, a fear that crops up in your mind regarding anything? Okay, and how do you control, how do you check yourself then and there and bring back your happy thoughts? Now, if you guys have read the Abraham Hicks, or I have, please follow our Facebook page. There we have certain images which talk about the frequency or the vibrational frequency of every emotion attached to it. So you will notice the vibrational frequency of emotions like anger, shame, guilt. They are of very low frequency, and I'm sorry guys for the noise outside. It must be, you know, something outside, and please excuse. And you know, sometimes so those negative emotions have a very low vibrational frequency, whereas the high vibrational frequency are of contentment, happiness, you know, great gratitude, love. So these are, so how do you bring yourself, how do you shift your mind from something negative? It can be a guilt feeling, it can be a shame, it can be an anger, it can be boredom, to something positive. Now here is what you do. Let's say you're doing some work. Let's say you're sitting in the office, you're doing some work, and suddenly a fear crops up inside you. You think about something, you know, which is, let's say you are supposed to meet somebody or confront somebody regarding a certain issue after a week. Or you are trying to, you have just gone through a broken relationship and unsuccessful relationship, and you are trying to concentrate on work, and suddenly that thought crops in. You know, something reminds you of that person. Something reminds you of, you know, time spent together, and that feeling of dissatisfaction, sadness, and, you know, something lost creeps up inside you, and you really can't do anything. That's the trick is, imagine that entire thing that has cropped up in front of your eyes inside your brain as a picture. Okay, now you can do it using your hands, or you can do it in your brain. Try to minimize the picture. You know, it can be any feeling. It can be guilt, shame, anger, boredom, something which is negative, something which is cropped up. Let's say it is, suddenly you are working and it has reminded you of, you know, the fight you had with your girlfriend a week back, and which has resulted in you two guys split up or part ways, right? And you just cannot forget. It reminds you. Sometimes, you know, you came across something which reminded you of her. So what do? You imagine that picture of you and her fighting, or whatever you're imagining, that the thought that has come. Minimize it with your hand. Do this. Take time out, close whatever you are doing, and just do this in your brain, and imagine you are, like you do in your phone, you minimize the photo. So similarly, you are minimizing it, right? And once you minimize it, you can keep your eyes closed, you can keep your eyes open, whatever, whichever way it helps. But just keep doing this. You know, this, as if you're reducing the size, and gradually you will feel in your brain that picture has reduced. And once it's reduced, you think of the picture somewhere here, and you think of throwing it out. Now you can do this physically, something like this, you know, something like this. And imagine you're throwing it out, like you throw a piece of paper or the bubble gum wrap, you just throw it. So similarly, you're just throwing it out. And if you can do it in your mind without really moving your hands and doing this, it's fine. Just imagine that picture reduced and you're throwing it out. It's gone. Now, the most important thing after it's gone. Now remember, your cup is empty now. So if you do not fill it with something, then that cup will again get filled with anything that your focus goes towards. So it can be negative, it can be positive. So now once you have emptied the cup, right? You have reduced the picture, you have emptied the cup. Now how do you fill it up with something good? What you do is, then you think about something funny, something happy, something that makes you laugh or you enjoy. It can be a music, it can be a book, it can be animation series, it can be some childhood memory, it can be about some friend, something happy. Do not divert your attention in social media. Please do not start checking Facebook immediately after that, or look into Instagram or Facebook or YouTube for some video. No. Do not, because understand that's a plethora of information which has balance of good and bad. So because your cup is empty, and as I say, your eyes absorb the maximum energy, so you will be taking, your mind will be again cluttered with a lot of information, of which half of them are unwanted. I'm sorry, and you really can't do anything about it. So the best thing is, that time, close your eyes and think about one thing that you love. Anything. It can be a movie, you like some song, just play it. Or it can be old vacation photographs, something good, something nice. And start feeling happy, thinking about it. Or if you are a person who doesn't like to read and who doesn't understand anything oratory, you want to feel, that is audiovisual works for you, fine. Open that if you like animation or something funny, just play that and you go with the flow, enjoy it, laugh about it, and feel happy. Do that for 3-4 minutes, or go eat something that you love, go drink something you enjoy, do anything just to fill that empty cup with something nice and happy. And once you've done that, then come back to your work. Now that you have enjoyed, now how do you remind you? Because this negative thoughts will keep coming. So the best thing, another NLP technique after that, is take a rubber band, tie it around your wrist for some time. And every time that negative thought creeps back, what you do is just take this and do this. This NLP technique, the moment you pull this and put it back in your hand, this will remind you that you had minimized it and thrown it out of the brain, and you're supposed to think about the happy things. So this reminds you, for example, I love cartoons. So whenever I do this, I'm actually thinking of a Madagascar Part 3 or a Shrek Part 2, or I'm thinking about, Despicable Me, something that I love, something I really enjoy, and I can enjoy them any time of the day. When I'm tired, I work nights. I work in IT, so I work nights. So, night time is when the maximum negativity creeps in. And I'm trying to concentrate on work. And, those negativities, when they creep in, what I do is I use this technique. I immediately minimize that, throw it out, and play anything that I love. Maybe, if you guys are into cartoon, watch the Madagascar Part 3 main song. I mean, it's a very motivational, very positive song, and it fills you up with something, very positive. So something, I love them. So I just play them. I have those videos, I play any one of them. And it just plays for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm back to that Gru mode or the Shrek mode or the donkey mode, and I'm happy and I've forgotten about that. And every time, and then I get back to my work, because I'm a content writer, I'm a writer, so I have to write a lot, and so I have to be creative and think creative all the time. So if my head is full of negative things, then it's very difficult for me to create. So then once I'm in the happy mode, I again go back to working, and if again those negative thoughts creep in, the moment I do this, it reminds me that I'm supposed to think of something good, or what did I do just 10 minutes back, and then I'm back into my positive mode. So this is an NLP technique you guys can use. You can use it anywhere, and it doesn't take much time. It's not very difficult, and you can do it anywhere. You can do it in a public transport, you can do it in your office, you can do it at home, and you can do it in complete anonymity, you can do it in complete privacy, complete secrecy, without wondering what will people think. If you suddenly start doing, nobody will even notice. So do that and see the difference. Get the negativity out. Always be on the try to be in as much positive vibe you can throughout the day, because that is the key to successful manifestation, and that is the key to be happy in life. Remember, you have to be happy now to get things in your life. It is never the other way. It is never the other way, usually, like we think that once we get that thing, we will be happy. So our happiness is never in the future. Stop that. Start being happy at now. And then you see those things happening in your life. Do not wait for those things to happen to make you happy. Because if you are depending your happiness on something that is going to happen, then you'll never be happy. So start being happy in your current stage and see those things automatically happening in your life. Hope you liked this video, and if you did, please do like, share, comment and subscribe. And until next time, this is Nilanjana saying bye from the Wishful Manifestations.